Welcome to Burning Questions, the latest edition. We're back in Victoria. It's been a terrific time up in New South Wales for the grand finals of the Inter-Dominion series. And I got to catch up with one of the legends of the sport, Anthony Butt. He's here as well. How are you, Ant? You looking well?
Very good, J-Bon. Yep, we had a good weekend, didn't we?
It felt good to me. I can't remember heaps of it, but it felt good overall. Andy, you look a little bit sunburnt. Are you okay there, mate? Or you just been SPF 60 plus for you?
About 100 plus for me. I don't do this. Me and the sun don't get on that well.
How about me? People in glass houses, the whitest mouldy in the history of the world, saying that you need SPF 60 plus. Skeeter, you don't need it. You're looking absolutely trim, taut and terrific. You've bounced back very well from a big weekend in Sydney.
Yes, it was a good weekend, Bon. It had it all, really, didn't it? Plenty of drama and action, but great weekend up there for the Inter-Dominion, and of course, plenty of good races down here coming up as well.
Yes, and we're going to hold the Inter-Dominion, of course, next year. All things being equal, Omicron, it's a bit of a problem, but we'll work through it. Let's talk to our sponsors first of all, because they make the show happen. Well, they don't really, but they sort of provide some money. Whether you're celebrating a win or shoveling in the stables, you want your staff to look their very best, and you do that with uniforms from Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. Team Vic, remember those polos? Great response for the polos. They have you covered for clothing, protective equipment, and plenty more. Check out hippocketworkwear.com.au. First of the 4 burning questions for this weekend. Is Kiwi form from off and gone the gold mine it appears? Ants, you've taken on plenty of Kiwi horses in your time. In fact, some people even say you were born and lived in New Zealand for many years of your life. How much do we know about this filly? The scores on the board, multiple Group 1 plates get her behind better twisters that just turn up and win Saturday night.
I think she'll be hard to beat, J-Bon. She's obviously racing some really good races and, been placed, and even I think she won one as well. So, I don't think she's as good as like Better Twist and the other filly that Andy had to come over, but she's in that next bracket probably.
So moral or not?
First up's always a question mark, but Dean Braun, he's a master, so he'll have a pretty ready.
I haven't seen the markets yet, but I'm imagining she's going to be very short, and in that field probably should be winning. And as Ants has already outlined, Dino usually does the right thing with these horses when they come across. Andrew?
Yeah, her New Zealand form's very strong, and probably similar to, when Spellbound come over as well, come from the same stable as well and done a great job. So I think this filly will do a great job, or mare, whatever it is at the moment, do a great job as well. And it's found a sort of suitable race that it probably should be winning on Saturday night, I'd say.
What price would Life's a Beach be in this race?
Not the $41 that went around last week. Yeah, probably be about $1.40 or $1.50, I'd say.
Well, that makes this one maybe $1.80. I don't think it's a dead set stone cold put the house on it, but I think it's going to win here, Skeeter.
Yeah, it looks that way, Bond, doesn't it? Obviously third in a Jules and second in another Group 1 behind Better Twist, who was more than competitive here with our best 3-year-old fillies, and it's been well spoken about what a strong crop it is. So we know Dean Braun does a fantastic job with his small team. She had a quiet trial, and I think she'll be very, very hard to beat. The one that may be there to provide good competition is Mona Mia, who's racing in fantastic form, but I do think it looks her race.
Monami is flying, but has broken my heart and my hip pocket workwear on a couple of times recently. So on a couple of occasions. So I'll probably deviate away and Monami will win the race. Question 2 of the burning questions brought to you by the Fresh Connection, who export Australian fresh fruit to more than 35 countries. Headed up by Damien Glengarry. He's the export manager and does a magnificent job. The Fresh Connection specialise in citrus, table grapes, cherries and mangoes. freshconnection.com.au. Let's get stuck into it. Will class or draws determine who prevails in quad first leg? Now, I'll go to you first, Skeeter, because our very dear friend, our very dear ageing friend, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Murray Sancarlo goes around in this race, but it's I just don't know what's going to happen here. I'm playing field. I never do that, but field in the first leg of the quaddie.
Yeah, it's probably one of the toughest race of the night to work out, isn't it? And things have changed slightly with Tango Tara coming out of the Cup. So Rick Riley's now out of this race, who to my eye, probably looked the main one from the draw, if we were talking about draw advantages and horses that could win the race from the draw. So with him out, I'm definitely leaning towards class. The class runners that we talk about may not be racing at their best. I think that's probably fair to say. San Carlos, Somewhere Secret, even Boots Electric, whether he is at his best, probably not. And he also has the bad draw to contend with. But I think the class horses will have enough to get the job done, but which one? Well, that's a great question.
Now, we come to you for inside information. We go to the trainers and drivers for theirs. Can you tell us anything about where Murray's at? Because it felt wrong, his performance last start. I know he's 10 years of age. He's going to be 11 very soon, but is he ready to bounce back?
Hopefully, Stephen Beck wouldn't have him there unless they were happy and they think he's going to be more than competitive to go around. They just wouldn't do that. So they're obviously happy with him at home. Last time he just pulled too hard the whole time. So he just got tired there. And his first up run they were happy enough with. He's obviously had a long time off and he is an older horse now. So they were happy with that first up run. Just put a line through that next one and hopefully he doesn't get that keen again and he can run a better race this week.
Isn't that one of the great racing phrases, Ants? They wouldn't have him there unless he was ready to go. So we can back them all. They're all at 100% all the time. They wouldn't have him there otherwise. You would never have them there. What are your thoughts here, mate? Rick Rowley coming out is an issue, but so often these days there's not that much between the really good ones and the ones that are just in the next tier. So will draws play the big role here or will the stars, Boots Electric, Somewhere Secret, San Carlo, 4 big men, will they dominate?
Oh, I think it's very even field. Probably the class horses, they may come into it. It's going to depend on tempo a bit, but Boots Electric, he's probably been disappointing this year. He looked sort of a superstar last year and doesn't seem to have come back as good. Emma Stewart's too, both good horses have, raced some really good races and some good fields. So, if they're back somewhere near their best, they're going to be hard to hold out. So, and, San Carlo's an old marvel, isn't he? So, love to see him get back to his best too.
Who was training Boots Electric when he looked like a superstar? I can't remember. It was some
Sonia Smith.
Sonia Smith. We might talk about she's a hovercraft later. Andy, have you ever sent one to the races that wasn't 100% ready to be there or always ready to roll?
Always been there. Talking about just his stable name, Murray. I think that's your middle name, is that right, Ants? Not many people would know that.
Yep. Very, very good name.
I'll bring something to the table this week anyway.
Murray Butt. Okay, I'll work with that. Andy, what are your thoughts on the race?
Yeah, no, it's wish you didn't ask the question. It's such a hard question. Obviously, 4 big men. We know it's out of form. It raced in, won the Hamilton Cup last year, placed in the Bendigo Cup, Warragul Cup, and a few other cups. Horsham Cup, I think, Somewhere Secret, probably touched below its best too. And San Carlo, we're not sure where he is. Like first up, he was good. But then the front row, they're probably giving away a bit of advantage in class as well. But it's probably a stay-out race. And if you're taking a quaddie, you take the field like you said. So I've really got no great opinion here.
They're called burning questions, Andy. They're not called tepid, just light flame questions. They're supposed to be difficult. That's why we're doing this. But I think who'll in the end or something. Or who knows? Glen Avril King could win. I hope one of them do because I am playing field in the first leg of the quaddie. Question 3 is brought to you by APG. Their sales coming out pretty soon, starting in Gold Coast, then coming down here to Melbourne. Looking forward to that. We'll start with you this time, Ants. Has Man been overrated as he hits the road once more? Majestic Man. He had that one off run during the Inter-Dominion campaign. Great run in the final. He opened at $1.25. Talk us through it. Is he going that well? Can he handle these runs so well that he should be turning up and just coming back to Victoria and smashing them?
Well, you'd think so, Jace. He's really happy with him. He come through the Inter-Dominion so good. We didn't have this race on the radar originally, but he just bounced through it so good. And, I think he's just sort of coming right by the final. And, it's not going to be easy. He's sort of following out, the lowest ranked horse in the field. So he's not going to get a great run through probably. So he's going to have to do a bit of work at some stage, but really, really happy with him this week. He's just, and he's probably the best he's been since he's been here this trip. And, and that's why he's here.
How did you turn him around from, we've spoken about Boots, I can't remember the trainer, but we've spoken about great trainers, but how did you turn him around? Because it all looked destitute on night 2 of the Inter-Dominion Carnival.
Yeah, he just had a lung infection that night, and he, but no, the vets treated him. Sonia, did work her magic, and he just got better and better as the days went on. So old horses, they can, they've probably got a bit more immunity than young ones. They can get over hiccups easier, and as I said, we just would have liked another few days before the final.
Well, I thought I was dead on Sunday and I've bounced back okay, so I understand that. I wasn't treated. But Ants, what do you reckon? You and I both don't like very, very short priced horses, generally speaking, but I just can't have him at $1.35. I know what a good horse he is, but there's a couple of handy ones here.
Yeah, it's not going to be a walk in the park for him. If he'd drawn the front row and, with his gate speed and cross at the front, I think it would have been all over. But yeah, he's going to need a bit of luck. There's some, good horses here that are going well. So, he's way, way too short in betting from my mind.
Andrew?
Yeah, obviously, I don't know, you won't be going in the race underdone anyway. Hey, I've done a little bit of more research, and I went back in through your 17,000 drives you had, Ants, and I could only find once you've handed up the lead. That was at Menangle last week. So, obviously, you had a bit of concern going into that race that he wasn't spot on. But obviously, he performed well, and again, we know they wouldn't be here unless we thought they're going to go well. And his main danger is probably the horse that he should be named is Have Horse Will Travel. So I think my horse is going well and should find the top. And we know what a good horse Majestic Man is, and he's going to be hard to beat. But he's really short odds at the moment. But Tornado Valley opened up $1.40 last couple of weeks ago and got at about $2.20. So you might drift.
I'm supposed to bring the humour to the show, Andy. You've just about floored us with one. Can you show us that bit of paper again, please? And by the way, when Skeeter loses it, she can be hard to bring back. Once she over races, that's it. You've just got to go with her. Skeeter, try and hold yourself together. What are your thoughts on Majestic Man being so short?
That's fantastic. That's a career highlighter, I think, for Andy Gath on burning questions. I love that. Yeah, look, I agree. I think he's
Tornado Valley to win the Great Southern Star. That's his new highlight in his career. Sorry, Skeeter, go ahead.
Look, I agree. I think he's too short, but I think he does have, definitely has the class edge on this field. There's some nice horses. Andy's horse is going well, as he said. Aldebaran Tess is a nice mare, but he definitely has that class factor, and I thought he was really good last start in the Inter-Dominion final, and he beat some nice horses there, as we know. So I think he's absolutely the one to beat. But would I be diving into $1.30? Not even with your money, Bon.
I don't have much. If you can get any money out of me, I do earn quite a good living, but it all goes out in expenditures, unfortunately. Sometimes Courage, $14. I don't know if it's still $14, but $14 earlier in the week, Skeeter?
I'm not too sure. And his past two have been really good, so I think I've got him in for third or fourth.
Yeah. Thoughts on that, Andy? $14 Sundance Courage?
Yeah, no, it's over. His horse is going really good. I think they've worked out that drive the horse cold, he seems to go a lot better. So, he's been hitting the line really strong these last couple of runs, and he's definitely a winning hope.
I feel like I worked that out a fair while ago. Question 4 of the burning questions is brought to us by Felvo Fruit, specialists in the table grapes. Table grapes. Since the 1960s, Michael and Josie Felvo are keeping the tradition going, which we love, and everyone loves their grapes. Keep an eye out for Felvo Fruits. You know you'll love them. Question 4, Ants will dream, amazing dream that is, find the top, and if she does, are you holding the front, or are you thinking about maybe handing up to copy that?
I think Andy just answered that question. There's probably only one horse, I would have handed up to, but he's not in there. Wolf Stride, especially the form he was in last season. But so he's obviously not there. But she's a great mare. She's well drawn, and really, if you hand to copy that, aren't you handing him the race?
This is unbelievable stuff from everyone today. This is one of the great burning questions. Can he name another formerly trained Anthony? Well, we'll find out very soon. We've still got a couple of minutes to go. Leading is the little issue, isn't it? I mean, she's run some great races in front, but obviously that's not her favourite role to be in. But you've got no other choice, have you?
No, obviously, she has won some great races from behind, and you could say she's a tad better, but what do? Do you drive the horse or drive the race? And it's a tricky one. Obviously, copy that's, superstar. and he's going to be awfully hard to beat. You know, he can probably sit park and still be hard to beat. So, but if you let him roll to the front, you know, your mates will not turn out.
Do you give yourself any chance of leading outright, or are you consigned to the fact that the Dodge is going to get across everyone and then you're going to have to push forward and try and take the lead off him?
No, I think if they light him up, he'll get across them all in 2 steps. Yep.
Yep, that's exactly what I reckon, Andy. And I think it's outlined. Like, you probably can't hand up. It's just going to be very interesting, isn't it? So you've got Amazing Dream in my map. You might have a different one. Amazing Dream in front. Copy that. Breeze, General Dodge behind the leader, and it's going to make it a great race.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think they'll go forward with General Dodge in my mind. I think when they went forward, they sort of set him alight and he over raced a little bit. And I think they're resigned to the fact they're not going to use him at the gate anymore. So I know you're going to go forward. I know it's Cranbourne, but my guess is they won't use him out the gate and just, you know, use him mid-race if they have to, or just come with one run. So I think Ants will find the top, and hard to see Ants, you know, going 30 years or whatever without handing up the lead. I think Amazing Dream be on top and copy that into death.
People change it. I reckon, Andy, what we're going to see from Anthony Butt now is pretty much hand up every time. I think this is the start of something, don't you?
I've had the new. I don't know. Did you go out and celebrate it, Ants? Did your kids FaceTime you or anything when you handed up, or was there?
I can remember handing up to Kate not long ago. And
was that the trial?
I said, I remember that next time she comes.
Just screaming, nah, Andy doesn't want me to. Who wins? Amazing Dream in front. Copy that in the breeze. Who wins then, Andy?
I'd copy that's a quality horse, and Ants knows how good he is. He's driven him before, but sitting in the death at Cranbourne's not easy. The turns are a bit tight, and if you're out sort of the wider you are, the harder you're working. So I'll stick with the mare Amazing Dream.
I'll tell you what, that's a bit of a bombshell here, a bit more drama, some theatre from Andy Gath. Are you thinking the General Dodge is going to go back as well? His conviction is so great. He's convinced me it's going to happen. Skeeter.
Yeah, no, I'm with Andy. I'd actually like 5 minutes to revisit my speed map now. But one thing that I'm sticking with is that I didn't think they would run the gate with General Dodge because, yeah, Jace went on record after that Caduceus Classic saying that it just stirred him up too much when he fired him off the gate, and then subsequent to that was that disappointing run at Kilmore. And being over the longer distance, I don't think they'll want to push the button at the start, have him get keen and potentially prove disappointing. So he's proven in other cups when he's been driven quieter at the start that he's ran some of his best races there. So I don't think they will try and lead on General Dodge. I thought that Ants would probably get to the top on Amazing Dream, and then potentially they might try and recreate the Black's a Fake and sprint past, copy that. But you've heard it firsthand that won't be happening. So I'll have to make some changes to my map, and yeah, Amazing Dream, you've just heard it, will be in front, and probably copy that in the breeze.
Now, in a word. Now, I often ask interview subjects in a word, and then I'll get 45 words. I mean, in a word, yes or no, can General Dodge win going back? Skeeter?
Yes.
Ants?
No.
Andy?
No.
So let's go forward, huh? Let's go forward. If you're not going to win going back, you might over-race. Let's go forward. All right. Best bets. You've got Wolf Perfect. Which stride have you got as your best bet of the night, Ants?
Now, the way Andy's questioned Majestic Man's form and last few runs, yeah, definitely him.
All right, at $1.35, showing some big cojones there is Anthony Butt. All right, Andy, we've struggled a bit. I mean, you built a massive reputation on this, and we need to find some best bets.
Well, the problem was I've been tipping other people's horses, and they've been letting me down.
Right.
And I was probably going to tip Shoots of Hovercraft because it was flying with its previous trainer, Lisa Miles. Not sure. Yes, but we'll find it. But I'll stick with one of mine, Mr. Bohannon. I know he's probably not going as great as last time, but he's pretty good at Warragul on Monday. I think he's sort of nearing back to his top, and it's not a great field. And so I marked him $9. So if you can get that $9, I'd be taking it.
Who would have marked him $9? Some people have got no idea. Best in the business. Ants, quickly, she's a hovercraft. Happy with her?
Yeah, we are, but she is first up, and she just missed a trial last week. So, you know, whatever she does this week, she'll improve on.
The previous trial, that last 100 metres was pretty good. And I've always had a big opinion of her. My best bet of the night, I'll let you go last, Skeeter, because you did get your best bet home at $1.09 or whatever it was last week. Magnificent effort by you. springing step. I'm going to have I'm Shadow Boxer, who's one of the most unreliable horses in the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I am. Right, Skeeter, best bet, please.
Oh, this is absolute car crash at the end because mine's also I'm Shadow Boxer. We're going against Andy. This can't end well because he is a horse that doesn't really win out a turn, but I thought it was a bit of a drop in grade for him. And I would like to add open $2.70. I tipped it at $2 springing step. So what happens after that? It's not my fault.
Yeah, you weren't so kind to me when mine shortened a few weeks back anyway. That's fine. We'll be egalitarian and we'll be a bit nicer to each other. Well done, Ants.
Good boys. Thanks, and Skeeter. Thanks for the chatter and the advice, Andy.
And Andy, if you can tell me, I didn't know Hugo Boss did polo shirts, but it looks terrific on you. So thanks for joining us again, and great to have you back on board.
Good to be back. See you guys.
Good on you, Skeeter. I'm going to go and eat some Falvo fruits and also some Fresh Connection fruits. Just a fruit platter before the Christmas party. I'll need it. Thanks for joining us for Burning Questions. We'll be back again next week, and hopefully Skeeter won't be the only one with the best bet winner.